Now, since independence, the relationship between Ghana and America has been one of the best. Just as we are still talking about, the issues of Burkina Faso and the US, America is waging war against Ghana. What is happening? I'm going to give you all the gist. Could it be the change of leadership and the kind of reforms that is going on in the country, is the reason why the US is doing what they are doing currently in Ghana? We are going to have this discussion right here on Dynamic TV Plus. This is What's Up Today. My name is Nanayao Dynamic.
He's about to go now.
Since Ghana attained independence in 1957 and Republican state in 1960, Ghana willingly chose United States of America as one of her, developing partners. So in this case, Ghana has everything to do with United States of America as far as its development and progress is concerned. It is surprising to see that in a twinkle of an eye, a lot of things is happening. Many people are demanding for answers. And of course, we are all anxious to hear and know the reason behind the quick and the sudden change of, United States of America as far as Ghana is concerned. Well, let's just go back small in time. If you could recall, there was a time that Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, the former president of the Republic of Ghana, met some people like the US, like a board, and then sold Captain Ibrahim Traore to them.
So, Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. We really like to have a privileged opportunity to talk about its implications, to what extent we can have you as a partner in confronting these threats. And therefore it's important that we bring that matter to your notice and see to what extent we can engage you as a reliable partner in the pushback of those forces.
Yeah, so this is Ghana's former president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. So you can see how he is reporting Ibrahim Traore to the slave masters. Like, the way he's talking, as if he wants to gain recognition, as if he wants to gain favor in the sights of the imperialists. When Addi was lying down, licking the feet of the imperialists, of the slave masters, they were calling Africa. In fact, they were deeming Ghana to be one of the best as far as peace is concerned. They were saying Ghana is the most peaceful country, in fact, the second most peaceful country in Africa. And it hasn't even been long. Now, they are coming back again with different narrative about Ghana. Now, what informed these decisions? In the second coming of Donald Trump, Trump made some promises that he was going to make America great again. Well, in the quest of making America great again, several, sacrifices would have to be made. And one of those sacrifices would be for America to just cease, or let me say freeze, on some of the expenses that the nation makes. Because according to Trump, it looks as though, America is spending so much. And so there was a need at some point in time to just put a check on how much America is spending. It wasn't Ghana alone that was affected. Several countries were affected with some of these tariffs and some of these sanctions. Now, Ghana was slapped with a 10% tariff. Trump gave Africa a masterstroke by withdrawing the US aid.
What is withdrawing from the World Health Organization?
Ooh, that's a big one. So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. Seemed a little unfair to me.
In fact, it affected many countries, especially the people that were so much dependent on that US aid. It was at this period that Mahama made it known that, look, this could be a blessing in disguise. Now, according to him, he explained that, look, this will be the best time for Africa to come together. If they can't do it at this particular time, then they can never do it. Now, he also emphatically stated that it looks as if because of the aid, some Africans, some of the leaders, they were so reluctant. Some of them were so much dependent, in fact, super dependent on the US aid that they were not even taking so much attention. They were not giving so much attention to their domestic economies. And how well the economy was doing, it was total bullshit to their ears. But this is the time, this will serve as a wake-up call to all the African leaders. And this will be a wake-up call for everybody in the African continent to tell everybody that, look, it's about time that they need to stand up and wake up from their sleeps and work for themselves.
What is the new system that you would want to create, both for trade and aid, assuming that the US is doing what it's doing? What is everyone else going to need to do now?
Well, self-reliance is not only at the national level, but on the continental level. And there's good news coming out of Africa, like she said. Most countries have ratified the protocol on continental free trade in Africa. And that trade is beginning to grow steadily. We're able to export tariff-free into our countries. Of course, there are obstacles because our trade channels have been the colonial trade channels between us and Europe and not amongst ourselves. So one of the things we need to deal with first is how we develop the infrastructure to be able to exchange goods amongst ourselves. Already, most countries are allowing free movement of people. And so if we have free movement of goods and services across the continent, I think that it will fill a huge gap in South-South trade, and that will benefit all our countries.
And do you think that the actions of the Trump administration will accelerate Africans' determination to do this? Will it finally actually happen, the African Free Trade Area?
Definitely it will. Definitely we will learn to be more self-reliant as a continent and to trade more amongst ourselves because there's a lot of room there for expanding trade.
Well, so it is around these subjects, this US aid that Donald Trump put down. That's, if you could remember, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyemang, who happens to be the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, stood on a platform to lambast Donald Trump on his stand as far as the US aid is concerned.
The world and foreign aid, and I've heard the president of the country you are studying in slashing aid. You see, one of the questions we have now, he hasn't asked himself. How much leaves our continent to his country? He hasn't asked himself that. They think it's just charity. It is not. At the right time, we'll also take action. And it will not be funny.
Now, when the vice president said this, everybody said, oh, this might be an empty threat because we've been hearing this. She is not the first person to make some of these allegations and to say, look, this is what you are saying. And if you don't rescind your decision, we are also going to take a decision. Look, African continent, we have been facing some of these things. You see, always they keep bullying us and having their way through. But it looks as if this wasn't an empty threat. Now, in May 2018, Ghana signed a deal, that is a SOFA deal. And this deal, it was the Ghana United States Status Forces Agreement deal. It was signed and sealed. Now, it was per this deal that warranted the US to establish a military base in Ghana. So from 2018, we are even giving them a dedicated place in the Kutuka International Airport. That's the military, the US military. That is the point that they use. And it looks as if at this point, Ghana is going to shut that down. That deal, Ghana is going to terminate that as we are talking. That is making the US very uncomfortable because, look, they have established their camp. They believe that, they have the liberty, they have the right, and per the relationship and the friendship that we have, they believe that they can have their, they can have their way and they can do anything they pleases in the country. And per the whole contract, per what they can do in the country, it looks as if they have unlimited rights and privileges in the country. And so at this point, it looks as if Mahama just want to tell them that, look, you can't eat your cake and have it back. So it is about time that we also tell them to move away from the country as far as their military base, is concerned. That is not the only thing Mahama is doing. Now, Ghana has as well banned all foreigners from engaging in local gold market trade. And so, per the new rules and regulations, per the new reforms, what it means is that if you are a foreigner, you can't engage in domestic gold trade. And that is a good thing. That is a step in the right direction. And it looks as if these people, they are not happy. For Ghana to be making some changes, and they've seen that, look, it looks as if Mahama is walking in the shadows of Ibrahim Traoré. It looks as if when Mahama was being sworn in, invited Ibrahim Traoré by and his friendship, the kind of friendship ties that is existing between Mahama and Ibrahim Traoré, it's not just, diplomacy. It transcends. It goes beyond friendship. It goes with reasoning. And so they are seeing that, no, things are changing. And so they have to look sharp. What even shocked them was when Mahama stated that all transactions, as far as the gold trade is concerned, in the country must be done in Ghanaian currency. So in this case, if you are buying and if you are selling of gold, you don't have to use dollars. We have to use Ghana cedis. And America is one country that doesn't joke with the dollar. And so if a country tries to manipulate or do anything that will undermine the relevancy of the dollar, now it looks as if you are the country's public enemy number one. So in this case, for Mahama to try as much as possible to do his best for the cedi, for the Ghanaian cedi to be able to compete with the American dollar, that is the problem that the Americans are trying so hard to understand. According to the Gold Board, this whole reforms, this whole gold reforms, and then the whole reclamation and the whole thing, those reforms, it is supposed to start in May. So in this month of May is when the whole thing started. Now, it will surprise you to know that it is this same month of May that the US have released the level 2 travel advisory on Ghana. Now, the US are now saying that the country, which used to be the second peaceful country in Africa, is now a red zone country. It's now not conducive for any American citizen that is willing to travel to Ghana. Now, they are saying that certain parts of the country is no longer there is no peace in Ghana. Let me say it in that way. I'll read the letters to you. I'll read the whole advisory to you. But I want you to establish one fact. And I want us to just think about something here. Look, during the era of Akufo-Addo, look, a lot were going on. A whole lot of things were going on. Regardless, these people never released any level 2 advisory, whatever, travel advisory to anybody. These people never coughed. These people never said anything. But just as we began to see glimpses of hope, just when the Ghanaian cedi started dominating, begins to show some signs that it can compete with the dollar, just when the dollar started falling as against the cedi, there is a problem. And now these people are saying that the country is not free. The country has problems. The country has internal issues. Now let me read this to you. Exercise increased caution in Ghana due to crime and violence against women travelers and lesbian, gay, and bisexual travelers. Some areas of Ghana have increased risk. Read the entire travel advisory. Now, even the heading alone should tell you something. Now, they are saying that if anybody is trying to come to Ghana, Ghana is not so peaceful because Ghanaians frown at lesbianism and gayism. So because Ghanaians law is not so clear on homosexuality, because of that, Ghana is not a peaceful country. I don't know the definition of peace when it comes to these people, but why is it that these people, everything they believe in, they feel like everybody automatically has to believe in that thing? And that thing, it bore me. That thing, sometimes you think about it and you be like, are these people, do they even respect the human rights that they are even talking about? Why are we as people, yet we are in our own area, we have our own president, we have our own people, but you believe what you believe and what you practice in your country should be extended to my country, and if I am not doing the same thing, you label my country as a red zone. So what you are doing, in a way, you are scaring, people who would want to invest in my country, you are scaring them off. You are trying to just let everybody who cares to listen know that, look, the country is not safe. And even if you are living there, leave. Let's move to some of their, points that they are saying people should consider. Now, the first one, they are saying that the Upper East region, the Northeast region, the Upper East region, the Northeast region, Upper West region, and the northern portion of the Savannah region, all areas west of the N12 highway that shares a border with Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire due to civil unrest and crime. Now, the moment they brought Burkina Faso here, I knew it had more to do with Traore and Mahama. The moment they brought, Burkina Faso in there, I knew there was more to this than what we are just seeing. Well, let's just look at the country summary alone, what they are saying about Ghana. Now, they are saying that violent crimes such as carjacking, street mugging, assault, and rape do occur. These crimes often happen at night and in isolated locations. Sexual assault, such as rape, is significantly underreported and remains a serious problem. Whilst domestic violence is criminal under Ghanaian law, police rarely respond to reports of domestic violence, and this is a complete bullshit. Look, why would you talk about a country as if like you just want to run down the whole country, the reputation and the name, the image of the whole country, just want to run everything down? It looks as if these people want to say, look, if you want your sanity, if you want your peace of mind, don't even bother to come to Ghana. Don't even bother, don't even step foot near Ghana. And this is crap. Because look, it is in America that you hear po every now and then. And Global Peace Index. Wait, where are they again? America is still considered to be one of the most peaceful countries. It's not the best, it's not the most, but it is one of the peaceful countries. But do we agree to that fact? And what is the basis for the whole calculation? What is the basis for the whole analogy? What is the basis for that whole emphasis that, look, America can be one of the most peaceful countries in the world, but Ghana is in a red tape? It just doesn't make sense. Just because, you see, if they feel like, look, at this point where you are going to, you are living their grips. They feel like, look, let's corner you to a point that if they can't have you, then nobody can have you. I guess no, and trust. In fact, I believe that this is not what is going to deter the president of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, from doing right by his people. I just hope and pray that the African leaders at this point in time, will get to know, say, with unity, we can just do everything. We can even move mountains. And if Africans can come together, if not now, I don't know when again, At this point, desperate situations calls for desperate measures. I believe they should come together at this point to find solutions for themselves and work for themselves. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I believe America will always be America, but at this point, look, they are losing. And the earlier they admit to defeat, the better. They have to know that, look, Africa is not as they name. At this point, everybody is going out and everybody is wisening up. Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is What's Up Today. My name still remains Daniel Dynamic. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for us. See you in the next one. I'm out.
Family 3940. Guess what? You are watching Dynamic TV Plus. Keep on watching, subscribe, share, then leave your comments. One time. Good luck.